Hey everyone, thank you for joining me on another episode of Brooklyn Baritone Podcast. This is a beautiful day, but you know what? Whenever you choose to join me, morning, afternoon, nighttime, evening, late at night, it doesn't matter. I always appreciate the likes, the looks, the listens. Of course, I would appreciate you hitting the subscribe and notification bell on my YouTube channel, Brooklyn Baritone. As I always say, do that at your own leisure. No pressure whatsoever, though I would like this wonderful AI algorithm to swing in my favor and more people can get more of my perspective on the word. All right, we're going to get right into it. Maybe a couple weeks ago, should have been quicker to move on it, but I still came across an article in the New York Post about an NYPD officer being harassed and targeted by not only her colleagues, but her superiors as well, about her keeping the Sabbath. Her name is Johanne St. Jean. I'm trying to do a little Creole pronunciation. When Johanne started the job, she let NYPD know about her faith practices, and they allowed her to observe it. As time went on, her fellow officers and colleagues were basically envious that she was able, especially being, I guess, newer compared to everybody else who were on the job for years, she was able to get Saturdays off, and they consider that, hey, that's the weekend off. How is it that she's able to get weekends off, Saturdays off, when we have to work? What kind of preferential treatment is that? That, of course, was their perspective, and it's because they don't understand what the Sabbath was. Okay, this bias against her is based off of ignorance. Some people are willfully ignorant. Some people are ignorant from the fact that they just don't know. They legitimately don't know. Unfortunately, this brings to light that there are so many people that have no idea. They have no idea what the Sabbath is because the popular mainstream view and understanding is terribly lacking. Of course, this article, it impacted me a bit because I am a Sabbath observer. I keep the Sabbath. Pretty sure if you listen to my episodes in the past, you could pick up on that. It's not just personal to me because I understand what the Sabbath is supposed to be. It was put in place by our Creator, Yah, our Father, for all of us, whether you believe in Yah, the Bible or not, or you're a devout Sunday keeping, worshiper. You always go to church, you open up the church, you're head of the choir, you're a pastor, you're an usher, you're a deacon, whatever it is. If you observe Sabbath or you observe Sunday worship, the Sabbath was made for you. It was made for man. It was made for everybody. That's the first and foremost thing that we have to remember. Of course, I put down a few notes about this thing here. So when I look online and I talk with people directly or I hear certain people make comments or share their opinions, I understand, I take it all in, and that's why I get a basic understanding and discernment of where people are and their understanding and their walk. I get it. Some people use the argument that Yah made the Sabbath for him, only him to rest after he created everything, because, after 6 days, he created everything that says that he rested. So people feel that he, God, Yah, is in perpetual rest, and it doesn't apply to us. But it's clear throughout the whole book, when you open all 66 books of the Bible, the Word, from Genesis, the very first book, all the way to Revelation, the very last book, it's clear that the Sabbath is important to Yah and Yahusha, to Yeshua. So if the fact that the Sabbath was not important, you may have seen it a couple times and that would have been it, and would have been clear instruction to not observe it, to not even revere it. But it's one of the commandments. It's the fourth commandment, the only one that it states to remember the Sabbath. So if it was only just for our Creator, just to rest, just for him to rest perpetually and just let us do our thing, then that would have been the case. But when Yeshua was on this earth to show us, he was the second Adam, because he was moving and living with the intention of instructing us of how to be proper stewards, to follow the word, So he kept the Sabbath. He said himself that he didn't come to do away with the word, the law. He came to uphold it. So if people think that it's only for, it's only for Old Testament stuff, then, they're terribly mistaken, or they're misconstruing what the word is. And if you know who the Father is, there's certain thing that you know what he says and what's important to him, what he holds holy, Kadesh. Going forward, other people use Paul. I think the majority of people usually use Paul, who either don't really revere the Sabbath, or they don't observe the Sabbath, or they don't really have any connection to it. Most people usually use the example of Paul. Paul said that you shouldn't have people condemn you for not observing Sabbaths and holy days and festivals and everything. So it's not just the seventh day Sabbath, but it's just different types of other Sabbaths too that Israelites were instructed to follow. See, the problem was he was speaking to a people of that time that practiced a form of keeping up appearances. This is to the Colossians and other people of the world who were looking to pick up the faith, to follow Yah, God of Abraham, God of Moses, the one who created everything. There were Gentiles who were used to doing, pagan things or worldly things, or they didn't believe in anything, but they were used to keeping up appearances. So they will basically just do things because it made them look pious, when really in their heart they weren't really about that life. See, he didn't want the Gentiles to be turned away from the faith because of judgmental minds, as Yahusha never forced people. He met them where they were in life, and if they were genuine with their walk, they will eventually and willingly change their life on their own. A lot of people like saying, Jesus never judged, or only God can judge me. Or they say, well, Jesus said, come as you are. Yeah, he said, come as you are. He didn't say stay as you are. He never said stay as you are, because he understands that we were broken. He understands that we were misguided. He understands there's so much things that we just don't know out of our own ignorance. So he's here to instruct us. He's here to show us what we're supposed to be doing, how we're supposed to live. So many people, they unfortunately use that. They use it as a justification to say, well, he was around whores, he was around tax collectors, he was around thieves. Yeah, they didn't stay. The ones who were genuine about the walk, they didn't stay as thieves. Look at Mary Magdalene. She was basically whoring around. An adulterer. Did she stay as an adulterer? Did she keep cheating? Did she say, I accept you, Yeshua, I'll follow you in your ministry, I'll be one of your disciples, but I'm going to sleep around, once in a while with this cat over here because he is fine over here and he got money? No, he did not. He did not. Even people who had physical disabilities. Told the man who was a cripple, basically, laying in a mattress all over the place, take up your bed, walk. Told the man, he fixed his eyesight. You're blind now, you can see. Whatever it is, physical, spiritual, mental, emotional, whatever things that's broken on you, and you come to him and have faith in him, he will fix you. The main thing is spiritual growth. So if you're doing wrong, but you legitimately want to follow Yah, you want to follow the word, you want to please the Father, you want to improve yourself on the basis of life that Yah has laid out for us, you will change. The thing is, we want to change the word. We always want to change the word, but the word doesn't change for us. The word is solid. We always want to cherry pick. We want to take things out to make it appear that, no, this is the way because my ego is tied to how I want to live and how I want to think. So I would rather live like this, if you don't mind. No, we like to change the word to make it convenient for us. It's not meant to be convenient for us. It's convenient in the form of it being available to us. So whenever you're willing to actually change and grow, it's there for guidance. For the time being, we have full access to it. We have full access to other people who study this, so we can ask them. But the thing is, we have to adhere to the word, wholeheartedly, because if you study the word, you will get to understand what the differences are in life. Because there's people who could be really great teachers, but they may have certain things that they understand wrong. So you'll be able to know the word so you can discern if certain people are charlatans, if certain people, they need to learn a little bit more if they have a misunderstanding, or you know for yourself, if you have certain questions, you know what basis and foundation you should base your life on. So the thing about it again is just ignorance, because we have to remember, I don't want to carry on this too long, but the thing we have to remember, the Sunday worship, that's really from the Roman Catholic Church. Yes, Roman Catholic Church with Constantine, they changed it. They will say it. They have, I guess, websites and sources say they gave themselves the authority to change what Yah put in place. You understand what that means? That's arrogance. That's pride, basically. So since they were a world power, they've been a world, they still are a world power. They've been a world power for centuries, okay? And they've deeply affected and still affect politics, social things, economics. They affect all these things. So when you have the Roman Catholic Church, who's a world power, and then now you have these other churches now, Lutheran, Protestant, Methodist, Baptist, Episcopalian, Pentecostal, these are all children of the mother church. The mother church is the Roman Catholic Church, who changed everything to Sunday. Christians who were following Yeshua, Israelites who were following the word of God, they were never worshiping on Sunday. So when the Roman Catholic Church changed everything, all these other churches broke off from them. They were children churches. Even, it was the Lutherans and Protestant, they were against the church, but guess what? They kept up with the Sunday practice without really questioning why is it that we switched from Sabbath at one point, seventh-day Sabbath, to Sunday. And the thing is, people don't even treat Sunday as a real Sabbath. Because what do you do? Because I grew up going to church on Sunday as well. You wake up and they turn the TV on, watch whatever church program. Sometimes I'll try to squeeze out whatever cartoons I can. Get ready for church, go to church, say your hallelujahs, and guess what do you do after church? You come home and you live life as you were before. You may go to the mall, go watch a movie, go watch the game, go wash the car. Sunday is like almost an official car washing day. Saturdays too, for people who don't observe the Sabbath. But you go on about life, so you don't even treat the Sunday as a legitimate Sabbath. You don't rest from your regular way of life. You don't focus on family and the word. You don't focus on the Father. So you can't even say that, okay, we observe Sunday, but from Saturday evening to Sunday evening, we put away these things. You don't even know what the Sabbath is. So people who would come after, say people like Johan here, NYPD officer, is living in a culture of people who have no idea about what history really is. They don't even know the word. They may go to church, they'll go get their suit ready for Easter and everything, but they simply don't know. If you can, take the time just to learn about it. Read up on it. Read up on history. History will most definitely teach you and corroborate with the word. When you look at the word, you're looking at history, because you have to look at the Bible is a historical document and a prophetic set of documentations as well, because I always say it's a legitimate source where it drops names, places, events and places before it happened. This is prophecy, and you could actually take those names and those places and those events and go to other documentations, other sources outside the Bible, and it lines up. It lines up. But anyways, that's all I wanted to say. If you would like to look at more of my content, see if I can do this in a while. Look at more of my content. You could go to my website at brooklynbaritone.com. I also have merch. Check that out. Something there for everybody. If you want to see more of my video content and productions, go to my YouTube channel, Brooklyn Baritone. I'm also found on LinkedIn under Corey Ashley. You can find audio versions of these podcasts on Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Apple Music. And you can also find me on Facebook and Instagram. I air 4 times a week on local Brooklyn cable television, on Verizon, RCN, Optimum, and Spectrum on Tuesdays, and Thursdays, 12 a.m. and 2 p.m. Anyways, I want you guys to be blessed. Think about what I said. Walk good, I'm out. Take care.